Hello there, everybody. My name is Sue Crooks, and I am the host of various groups and also the founder of Love Biz Networking. And I'm delighted to share with you our workshop today, which is run by our expert Eva. Eva, would you like to introduce yourself to us? Tell us a little bit about yourself as well.
Okay, well, I'm Eva Dalgety, and I consider myself a data-driven e-commerce marketing specialist, basically helping people to unlock online profits in their business. But what does that mean? It means that if you have a service or you got a product online or say on social media, and you have visitors and you're getting engagement, but you have no conversions necessarily, I help you to basically move your buyers, your visitors into buyers. So that is predominantly what I do. And I'll tell you a little bit more as I go through the slides. Okay. So what else do you want to know about me? Do you want to know a little bit about my background?
Yeah, share some of your background.
Okay. Well, basically, I came to this country from Guyana, which is in South America, when I was about 17. I did my A-levels in maths, chemistry, physics, and then entered university. I studied chemical engineering in university, but I am no longer a chemical engineer. I then went into IT, where I sort of did the whole project cycle from being a unit tester, coding, right through to team leading, some techie guys that were far more technical than myself, into sort of being an analyst, where I went into companies, collected the information, brought it back, set up the test plans, get the team to run it, just covering the whole project cycle. And then, but deep down, I was always craving freedom, freedom to, especially when I got children, so my first entry to that was decided to become a teacher. So I did a PGC in mathematics. I had less time and less money, so that didn't quite work out for me. So then I decided to set up my own business, which was about 10, probably 12 years ago. So yeah, so I moved from basically building, I started off in e-commerce because my brother had a business that needed to put the products online. Yeah, so I even did my own ebook to start selling online. Hadn't made my first sale with that and just loved it. That cha-ching that came in during the night was like, that was it for me. So I love making money online, making money while you sleep and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so that's me.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. And isn't that great, though, when you're asleep, you can make money with a fully professional and usable and successful e-commerce business. So fantastic. So it's over to you now to share your workshop with us today. So thank you very much.
Okay. So I am going to just share bear with me. Hopefully I have Canva open, and I'm presenting in Canva today, so bear with me. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start by just introducing the topic, and it's called The Magical Whispers of Data, the right data. And today what I'll be covering is the superpowers hidden behind data. And I'll let you know why I call it, I give you this topic, this name, the experience that data can create. And then we're going to look at a case study. So I'm going to try to simplify this by basically going through a case study at the same time. Okay. So, well, I did all this in the beginning, so I'll just get started. So I want you to take a look at this picture. And one of the greatest assets that we have in our businesses that is kind of underutilized, especially with self-employed businesses, business owners, is that data, is that hidden asset that you need to know about. They say data is what drives sales. Data, if you understand that, that's how you scale your business. So I just love this image. I love putting together this image because, data is really that hidden asset. So before we move on, I want to quickly just do a quick survey with you. I know it's not many of you, but I want to do a quick survey. So if you could just use Slido. So just on your phone, anything you have, just type slido.com for me, please. And then type in, it's going to ask you for a participant code and type in Love Biz. Right. And I want you to think, when you think of the word data, what comes to mind? Just put any word there, just type in the word there. What comes to mind when you think of data? I'm just gonna have a quick look at Slido. So this is the results it's giving me. So one of you said complicated. Yeah. So that is quite funny. People's contact details. Yeah. Anything else? Profit figures, yes. Yes. That's great. So all those things do come into play when you think of data. Okay. So what I'm gonna say there is that is correct, that data is the data does, when you think of data, you think of all those things. But data itself is not what you want within any business, or even to give you those things, give you profit, give you figures, right? Data is figures. But data analysis, which is what I kind of love to do, is data with a plan. So you could collect all this data, but if you do nothing with it or do not have a plan for it, you cannot use it in the way that it's supposed to be used. Okay, so I'm gonna start by just trying to discuss a little bit about data by looking at a business story. Okay, so the one we're gonna look at here is from coolchoice.com. It's just a name I made up. Hopefully the website doesn't exist. Okay, and the person in the picture I'm gonna call her Emma. Okay, and we're gonna look at a little bit at Emma's story. So Emma is a small business selling physical products. While most of her revenue came from direct sales to stores, her online sales had the biggest profit margin. And for that reason, she wanted to expand that side of the business, especially after lockdown, okay? But was alarmed when she found that her online sales were dropping. It was a big concern because her revenue goals relied heavily on these sales, okay? So that is Emma's situation, and this is a real life situation, okay, for one of my clients. So when I began to work with Emma, and this is why I call this presentation this, I had to listen to start thinking about the magical whispers of data. This is why I call it this. I had to ask the right questions. I then had to know where to go and look for that information. I need to know what to look for. And then I needed to know how it applied to her business. And this can really be specific to various different types of businesses, even though there are some similarities. Okay, so let's move on with a little bit more into Emma's story. So one of the things, talking to Emma, of course, I've disguised her name. Emma received fewer orders than expected over the last few weeks. So I'm simplifying this a little bit, right? She was stumped. She couldn't quite understand what the issue was, and she really did not know where to look. She did not know where to start. Okay, so using those 4 bits, that is my thought process, okay, in entering this. So one of the things when I move forward, I have to think, okay, Emma wants to grow her business, right? She needs to see results, right? And if she isn't getting new visitors, if she's not increasing her sales amount, and if she's not increasing the frequency of her making sales, her business will not grow. Okay. So let's go back to Emma again. So after diagnosing, listening to the conversation, looking at the information, what I realized that Emma wasn't getting enough visitors to her website. In addition to that, her online assets, that is like not only her website, but her social media platforms and things like that as her assets, were not optimized to create a better user experience. So hence, that is why her sales were beginning to drop off, okay? So what are some of the steps, and I try to summarize this here, what are some of the steps that I had to take? I had to do a brand search, right? And I had to look at her traffic sources, what were driving traffic to her website. I then had to evaluate the content that were driving new visitors to the website, okay? So on the social media, I looked at her content. On the website, I looked to see if the website had SEO on it. I looked to see the behavior of when a visitor land on her website, what journey were they taking? If they landed on the homepage, did they go straight to the products page, which products they were landing on, and when did they drop off? So I had to go through those steps, right? And then I had to look at the tactics, right? And I look at those tactics based on the visitor's interests. And I look to see how I could improve that. Okay. And then once I look at those first 4 steps, I could then begin to implement those strategies to create engagement on her social media, so that could then drive traffic to the website. I could look at what products that the customers were buying, those who were already buying, to see how I could increase that and make even more browsers or visitors buy more on her website. Okay. Now, by putting those things in place, right, I was able to increase her orders by 89% within a month. Her net sales increased by 125% within 1 month. Her average order value, which is the amount that per customer spent. Okay, and that's quite important, because if later on she's thinking of doing ads, we need to sort of understand what is happening there. And I looked at how many the order size per order, how many products people were ordering. If that also increased. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit of, I know this is quite technical, heavy. So I'm going to go back to Slido again. So bearing that in mind, okay, and looking at all that data, I want you to go into Slido again. And just for me, if you wanted information to be presented to you, how would you like that information to be presented? Would it be in forms of charts? Would it be pictures? Would it be graphical? Do you like somebody talking you through what's happening? Would you like, if somebody was sending information to you, do you want that information to be emailed to you, printed? How would you, typically like data to receive information on data? So if you look back at Emma's story, if I was to send out you these results and I was working with you, how would you like that data to be presented? So if you go into Slido again, enter LoveBiz, and just sort of let me have a quick look at what is the most popular. So you're going to see the second question. Ooh. So at the moment, a lot of people, from those of you who are here, it looks like you like to receive information graphically, and you also like charts. Okay. So this is one of the things that when I'm working with somebody, and if I have to send them information, right, I kind of survey them to find out if how they like to receive that information. Because on a weekly basis, or sometimes on a monthly basis, I do have to present those results, or at team meetings or whatever, we have to present that results. So this is one of the things that I do when working with people. Some of you say like listening and talking it through, yep, and printed. Or sometimes you could have a mixture of all of those. So that is one of the things I do when working with people. Okay, thank you very much for that. So now go back to the presentation. So let's have a quick look. So that sort of just gives me a good idea of what is happening there. So let's okay. So when you're looking at data to grow your business, you don't want to be reactive, sort of dealing on hunches. Oh, this is going wrong. Let me try and correct this. You don't want to get into that state. Okay, you want to be proactive when dealing with it. You want to look. So I go through a system where I look at the awareness, and you look at like if it's new visitors, introductions to visitors, how people are becoming aware of your business and products. I then also look at evaluate the content you're already posting, or if you're a startup and you're just starting, I start thinking about what content you need, what offers you need, what conversations do you need to have with your audience in order to get that engagement. Because it's from that engagement then into what I call like the subscription just before the conversion, that you then start to be able to convert people into joining groups, into joining your newsletter, subscribing to get your newsletter. And then from that, they then probably make a small purchase or come and sample your course for free or sample your course for a low value. And then that transacts into you grow your customer base. And then of course, you got to look at nurturing that customer base. So one of the things you could do is if you're nurturing in a group, okay? So what is the goal of that? The goal of that, and looking at the data for that as well, is sort of like, okay, these existing people that are working with me or buying from me can refer me, okay? They promote and they could become advocates. Advocates meaning that if somebody asks them, oh, you know what, I think I want to learn Spanish. You know, oh, I know somebody who teaches Spanish. Or, so there are advocates. But then you might go somebody saying, oh, you know what, I know the best copywriter around. You know, and they're now promoting your own services. So when you are able to nurture your existing buying audience, right, those are the people who become advocates and who promote your business. And those are one of the things that we could also monitor through data. You know, how are you handling out, giving out your testimonials? How are they responding? You know, have monthly reviews, quarterly reviews, you know, but in the meanwhile, I'm behind the scenes sort of collecting all that lovely data so we could move forward. And that, of course, helps you with your retention and your monetization. So why data? Why do we need data analysis? I'm just taking a step back. One, you're able to predict customer trends and behavior. Two, it really helps to increase your business productivity. Because when you see the gaps or the successes, whichever one you're celebrating, it makes you take action, okay? And then definitely it does help in driving that decision-making process, okay? And so that is the reason why it's very important to understand, collect your data and have some analysis done on the data. Okay, and then to just beginning to wrap up, right? Why do we want, how do we use data effectively? You identify your goals. You identify your goals and align your data. You use tools to manage those data. And you know what? One of the things that we all forget to do is set aside a bit of time to analyze the data. Okay, so I'm just going to move forward. So I'm going to skip this a bit. This is just telling you about a course that I have starting from the 9th of January, and it's called Level Up Your Business. And one of the things I love, and I put this in a heart in the middle, is helping people to generate a recurring income. And some of the things I mentioned in the process is that you started the process. I put it as a cycle, because I believe that that is how we need to think of business going forward, right? So you build awareness for your business, you then engage, get your client, people to engage. Then you get subscription, and subscription doesn't necessarily mean an email, something on MailChimp or collected email address. It could mean, it means them spending time and money with you, or just time. So it could be like in a Facebook group. It could be in a WhatsApp group, if you think of the Facebook ecosystem, okay? Or Meta, I should say, not Facebook anyway, Meta ecosystem. Then to convert, okay? Here they're just like sampling you with time or money, or both time and money, which is what we would prefer. So they're trying your course for free, or they're trying your course for a low cost, okay? But then once they try that, we need to understand what made them do that. We need to understand what excites them to make that. What is that aha moment that let them realize that they want to try this, okay? And then once they try it, you then take them through to buy it, even in e-commerce, right? Like when I was selling tea online, right? They will sample a sample of tea. They'll take a tea, you know, they request a tea sample. Then what happens? They come back and they buy a couple boxes of tea. And then I could cross-sell them to sell, you know, for other flavors of that tea. So it works in any industry, okay? So ascension means is moving through that product cycle or your course cycle, okay? And then, of course, as I mentioned before, becoming advocates and then promoting. So this program is all starts on the 9th of January. So who do you know that could do with my help? On Mondays, I will have is a timed session from 1 to 2:30, where it's Q&A, or the other thing I'm running in that session is how people would like to build a dream audience. There's also a bi-weekly one-to-one sessions, and the program involves collecting data and tracking. It includes monthly review of your goals to ensure that you're on track to achieve your quarterly goals. And it also involves helping you to implement the tactics that we recommend to you. Okay, and to conclude, and I want to conclude with this, I just absolutely love this quote. And it's from the CEO of LinkedIn, who says, data really powers everything that we do. Data powers everything that we do. And that's just my details, and that's the end. And I'm just now open for any questions.
Thank you, Eva. My goodness, that was very quick. That was very, very quick. We've still got half an hour to go.
I speak too fast.
No, that's fine. We've still got half an hour to go. So ask lots and lots of questions, everybody. Well, go on, Serena, because I've got some as well. Serena, go for it.
Thanks. I was just going to ask, what is the best tool to use when, approaching data analytics?
For me, if you're on the website, if you have a website, I still believe in using Google Analytics, right? And so that will be connected with your website. So you then might have another tool I use with it is Monster Insights. Yeah, or you could use Exact Matrix. So those two together sort of gives you a good rounded information for the website. If I'm looking at data for Facebook, I also make sure the website has a pixel on it to sort of feed the data from, say, Facebook to the website. So in case somebody wants to run a ads campaign, but I love looking at Facebook Insights, and I also like looking at something like LinkedIn Insights, because you'd be surprised how, if you look at your LinkedIn Insights, right? I was showing someone the other day, and they were getting loads, and then we looked at the people who were liking, and they were surprised that it was actually a lot of agencies as opposed to the business owners and things like that they wanted to connect to. So that meant that they needed to change or adjust what they were putting out on social so that they could attract the right audience. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope that helps. Yeah.
Eva, you've just mentioned Google Analytics.
Yeah.
That's all changing, isn't it? Has it changed yet, or is it changing, or what's going on with that? Because I do use it.
You need to go to Google Analytics 4 by the end of January. I think it's actually sunsetting it in January. I can't remember I did look at this the other day, but my mind doesn't tell me the date.
Oh no, that's fine.
It's in January.
I saw it was changing. Do you know, yes. Google Analytics is fabulous because we found someone with the police because Google Analytics, doesn't it, digs really deep in your website, and we had a stalker who was stalking lots of women on female networking groups. Kate, you might remember the stripper. Yeah, well, we actually found his IP address by the Google Analytics on the LoveBiz website, so we could speak to the police about it. It was something that used to reoccur about every 3 years, wasn't it, Kate? And he used to just phone women off the website. Sadly, I never got that call. But some women took it quite, it concerned them quite a bit, and others were just, but we found him because I could see when he'd gone online to see what pages he's hit and how many times he'd been on the pages and for how long. We managed to drill down to get his IP address.
Wow.
And he hasn't made any contact, touch wood, for, must be about 4 years. It's pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So we wondered if he was ever in prison and used to come out. That's what the thought was. And he was based in Scotland. And we could find that out with Google Analytics.
Yeah, it's such a great tool to have. Wow, you see that? That's even, so it's not only good for just, it's not good only for, growing your business or giving you that data to grow your business. It's just good for things like that as well. Security reasons.
Being a detective.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's really good because it'll tell you, won't it, which are your popular pages, how long people are viewed on. So that's great. But I haven't looked at my analytics for a little while yet. So I need to do that. But because I'm a numbers geek and I love doing insights. and going on and seeing what's working and whatnot. So thanks for letting me know. I need to make sure I've updated it all by the end of January.
Yes, please. If not, I'll have a look and send you on WhatsApp. Yes.
Joanna, go on, ask another question.
Yes, I just want just to kind of a question and a little bit of a reflection. I've been with Eva, and she's been doing this analytics with me, and I was just posting, I was following her advice and posting many things, and I think my rate went quite high. I mean, for me at least. And which is amazing is somehow at a certain moment, I wasn't, it was quite good rating, but I wasn't converting.
Yeah.
And we were working in the conversion, and somehow it just comes, the conversion comes from my own students.
Mm-hmm.
So they just refer it to me, you see. And what I've noticed as well, Eva's been trying really nice, pushing me to keep posting in social media, but I haven't got the time at the moment. I'm doing a postgraduate degree. I'm like working and teaching, and I haven't got the time, but so I'm focusing now in my own students.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, does it help? Do you have to really post all the time in social media, or just focus it in your, I mean, because at the moment I'm focusing in my current customers, you see.
But you remember, social media is not the only way to generate leads. We have this networking group, right? There's also clubs and societies that you can go to that generate leads for your business. So social media is not the only place, okay? And let's take, for example, your group, right? Where you're beginning to nurture your current clients, your current buyers, okay? Now they could give you referrals, okay? And so that is another way for the type of business you have. That's another way of you gaining more clients. You know, because at the end of the day, if you work out like with the e-commerce, say if you're selling like me, selling teas, right? You want, it's a volume business, okay? So social media works well for that in some ways, okay? But if you're running say a B2B or where you just need a certain number of clients in a certain way, you don't necessarily need, you know, you're building awareness, yes, by posting occasionally, and it probably should be okay every Monday or every Wednesday or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You pick up your own time based on your own, you post based on your own time and availability. Okay, but don't just think it's only social media that could build awareness of your business. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Kate, have you got a question? I've got another question. No, that's fine. I've got another question. A new online business, no followers, new Facebook page, new website, which has SEO. Excuse me. Let me just have a sip of water. Sorry, ladies. I'll edit this bit out.
That's all right.
Okay. He's expecting very much, look, notice that
yes.
He is expecting to be selling product today, and his website has been live less than a week. His Facebook's been less than a week. And he can't understand why he's not getting followers. Even though he's got 800 friends, he's invited to the page where he's only got 26 followers. So he's now panicking his business is going to fail. So I've explained to him, Google can take up to 3 months to load your website, but we need to get lots of clicks on it. And it doesn't happen overnight. Yes. Do you meet people like this in your business where they're expecting a business to bring in turnover literally instantly?
All the time. They think it's a magic pill.
To that person? It's a really competitive project he's got as well, which I've said from all along.
Well, first thing, it depends on, the first thing I would look at, really, to be honest, is what has he been doing before, and look at the friends that he has on Facebook, okay? I would also look at whether he has a case study. I'd look at things that are not necessarily, because he needs to make his first sale, okay? So probably I'm looking at case studies. I look at the friends, because you know, on Facebook, right? If you go on your profile, because he doesn't have a lot of traffic yet, I'll come on to whether he has money in a minute. I would then run, like, get him to start posting. It's going to still be slow. So it might be fast. Normally I could probably get a sale depending on that product within 2 weeks to 30 days. Okay. Because you need proof of concept. Okay. Now, if I take his friends on the profile, okay, I would post things that are relevant so that I could start seeing if any of my friends are even remotely interested. And then, you know, on Facebook, there is, on the profiles, there's a thing called custom list. I would use custom list and put those friends, those who show interest in, right? So that when I then create a post, it's relevant for them, it's homing in on them, it's targeting them, and then asking them to find people that might be interested in his products or services.
Yeah, he's put on a like and share offer with a bundle and stuff for that. But yeah, but yeah, I just wondered, because I have to keep explaining to him a business doesn't happen overnight. So he's not even based.
Sorry, not on you. The other thing you could do if he has money to run a promotion, run a conversion ad campaign, not a like and follow.
Yeah, Facebook, because he's got so little, and Facebook has so many.
He hasn't got 100 yet.
No, he hasn't got 100 yet. So we've got it restricted quite a lot. But yeah, I was just interested in your feedback, because I've given him a lot of that. But yeah, it's very interesting.
Okay, then you got to get him to the 100 likes quite quickly, and then you'll be able to see. But I don't like. I had a client the other day, and she wanted to. She's got me kind of helping her to implement stuff. This is weird but she actually has a coach, right? So she has a coach, and they tell her, oh, do that, and she can't really do it. So she comes to me to help her to implement it, right? Now, I am also like a consultant coach, but she had the coach before me. And because I kind of like doing the work, she's come to me. And they said to her, similar position, that she had, 2 followers, probably me and somebody else followed her Facebook. And they then said to her to buy, do a likes campaign, do India because it's low cost. And I was so against this thing, right?
Right.
I was so against it, right? Because it's gonna mess with her data. But being the personality, she wants to see the likes on her page. So she took their advice and ran a likes campaign, and she's got about 1,000 likes now. And when she posts something, it's only still me like kind of like
exactly. And I think that's what people don't understand. You can have 1 million followers and likes, but only a couple of people who engage. And I think that's the thing, isn't it, Eva, that people don't understand, that the likes and followers don't mean anything. It's about the engagement.
And then when you go and look at her insights, it's from all these countries that are not her target audience.
They're never going to buy from her, are they?
Never going to buy from her, you know? So I've got real issues with that kind of thing. And they got some people who advise people to do that, to get them to the 100, but then it messes with the data. Okay? So I prefer she had been a little bit slower, do the proper likes campaign like you're advising this guy, get people so that when you look at the analytics, you could see properly who is the people, and that could then sort of create your avatar.
Fantastic.
You know?
That's right. Eva, I'm going to end the recording now, because some of us might have other questions we want to ask you. So I'm going to say thank you, Eva. So we're not going yet, everyone, but I'm going to say thank you to Eva. If you need anything from Eva, make sure you contact her, and we'll see you all very soon. So I'm just going to stop the recording now.
Thank you, everyone.